Hello, my friend, and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki, and today I'm very excited because Hekate wants to give you a message of guidance through difficult times. And if you've watched my other readings recently, it's very interesting because in one of the recent readings, she came through as a card in 2 groups. So I'm very excited to do an entire reading about her messages, and perhaps you are going through a period of personal transformation or transitioning into something else, into a new period of your life, or perhaps you need some guidance on how to get through those chaotic and difficult times we are in right now. Of course, this is a timeless reading, but I'm guessing if you clicked on it, there is some sense that this is a difficult time. So I'm very excited to see what Hekate has to say about that and what kind of guidance she wants to give you. And so, as always, I shuffled out some cards for you to choose from. And we have card number 1 with Cauldron, card number 2 with Dandelion, and card number 3 with Amulet. And as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below, so I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello again, group number 1, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Cauldron, under the category of fire, and it says reflection, insight, inner wisdom. And I love that the cauldron has those little claws as feet. Yeah, so something about reflection, insight, inner wisdom, going within. Perhaps the outside world is drawing a lot of your attention, but perhaps this message is about going inside instead and reflecting and finding some peace and wisdom, perhaps through meditation or through journaling or something like that. But let's get more into it by asking first about what issue or area of your life is it that you need guidance for? What issue or area of your life do you need guidance for? Moss agate, positivity and change. Yeah, I'm already getting some ideas from that, but I want to get some more cards first. So what area of your life or what issue do you need that guidance about? The parent. One more card from this tarot deck, the horror tarot. So there are some sort of dark cards in it. I'm sorry. Sometimes talking and shuffling at the same time is too much multitasking for me. Anyway, I'm taking this card that flipped over, and it is the Ace of Cups. So yeah, with the parent, the first thing I got is there's something where you feel a lot of responsibility weighing heavy on you. Perhaps you are a parent, or perhaps it's something else where you have the responsibility. Perhaps it's a work situation, or perhaps you feel responsible for this earth even, or for creating change with the moss agate card, for being more positive. Maybe you want to be the one that is an inspiration to others, that creates a positive atmosphere, a positive mindset, and maybe it's difficult for you to keep that up at the moment because you are going through a difficult time. Yeah, I'm really getting this sense of heaviness weighing you down, and it's difficult for you to perhaps even see anything positive about the situation you are in right now, or the overall situation in this world perhaps. Yeah. Don't give up hope. Don't give up hope is a message that is coming through. And even with the Ace of Cups, because the aces can stand for new opportunities, new beginnings, new energies coming in. So this card again gives me this message that there's hope. New things will come in, new opportunities will come in, times will change again. But we asked about which issue or area of your life is it that you need guidance with. And I think it's whatever area of your life that the sense of responsibility weighs heaviest on you. Okay, let's next have a look at what Hecate's advice is. Hecate's advice for you. And we have unguarded. Trust the unexpected. I love that because I think Hekate is very about embracing the unexpected, embracing the unknown, stepping into the unknown. But let's get some more cards for that also. Everything falling out. I'm taking this card, the Judge. And also one more tarot card for this side. Okay, this flipped over and we have the King of Wands. Very interesting picture here with the King of Wands sort of turning away from us. Hiding something away from us, perhaps. Yeah, with this unguarded card, I am getting the message that you are stronger than you think. And you will be even stronger if you are able to trust, if you are able to have hope again, if you are able to believe that things can turn around, and perhaps trust that you are receiving guidance from the unseen world, from your spirit guides, from your higher self, from the divine, or from Hekate, depending on what you prefer and what you believe in. But you have immense strength that you haven't even tapped into yet. But to unlock it, I feel that you will have to allow yourself to step into the unknown. Step outside your comfort zone. Perhaps go within, as we mentioned, with the Cauldron. And of course the Cauldron here, it comes under the category of water, but of course to get the cauldron going, you will also need fire. So there's some kind of alchemical process happening where your difficulties, your difficult emotions perhaps will be transformed into something else, into inner strength perhaps, into courage perhaps, into trust perhaps, the ability to trust yourself and the universe perhaps. And with the Judge card, here I'm getting sort of the energies of discernment, making good decisions, having the ability to judge the situation, to judge the people involved in the situation. And I don't mean judge in terms of having a prejudice against them or judging them too quickly. However, the ability to be clear about what it is that you're actually facing, what the situation is, what the people are, that is a very important quality. And also making decisions based on that, even if those decisions are sometimes hard or harsh or difficult decisions. And with this particular King of Wands, I'm getting the sense of secrecy, building up something in secret. So I think this is an inner process that you're meant to go through and that you're not yet meant to share with others. And I think that's perhaps also the trust. Trust yourself. Don't get so much advice from others, perhaps. And of course, that's a bit funny because you are here seeking advice from the cards, but be discerning on how often, how much advice you seek and from whom. And I think you need to develop your abilities to make your own decisions, perhaps to make your own judgments, to gain great clarity on your own. And from that, perhaps develop a plan, develop a path. Okay? Let's have a look next how you can move through this difficult time. How can you move through this difficult time? Let's get some cards for that. Dream sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and last till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. So maybe some of those insights that you are seeking will come to you in a dream, perhaps. Or maybe one way to deal with that pressure, with that responsibility, with that hopelessness is to rest more, to go easy on yourself, to really make space for comfort and nurturing and self-care. But let's get some more cards. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Okay, let's see. With the Queen of Pentacles, definitely grounding, staying grounded. And also I'm getting something about bringing the energies in and keeping them close to home. So maybe you've been getting distracted by or upset by or feel very involved in things that are going on in the world that you can't really influence at all. So I'm getting something about choose your battles, the things that you can influence or that you can attend to, or where your energy will be sort of well invested. Go for those things. And if that means taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, perhaps your children, taking care of your friends, or things like that, then focus on that. Of course, it's good to stay informed. However, if the news are overwhelming to you, if everything that's going on is just dragging you down and making you hopeless and depressed, maybe then now is a time to detach from it for a while. And make sure that you support yourself. Make sure that you support your loved ones. And perhaps not from a perspective of heavy responsibility and perhaps even fear, but from a perspective of nurturing, grounding, with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and with the Seven of Swords, really protect yourself from those unwanted influences. Yeah, it feels that somehow a lot of energy is leaking into things or people that aren't helpful. Or, as I mentioned before, things and people that you really can't do anything about. So bring back your energy to yourself and use it in a way that is meaningful. And find your own vision, your own path, your own projects that are worthwhile. Trust the unexpected. Something wants to unfold in your life, but I feel right now you're too distracted to even see it. So bring back those energies and ground and reflect and seek that inner wisdom. Seek that connection to the goddess or your higher self or your guides. Okay. Next. Let's have a look at how this will unfold for you. How will this unfold for you? And we have love. Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring a true love here to me. Could also be about self-love or love for your family or focusing on your loved ones, as I mentioned before. And then we have grace. Grace, blessing, come to me to set me free. Yes, that's wonderful, because with that I also feel that, again, shifting your perspective or shifting your energies from this heaviness and fear towards something more graceful, something more positive, something more powerful also. Okay, but let's get some more cards for that as well. So how will this unfold for you? And maybe with the love, someone is coming in to support you. Like a new friend or a new partner. Could also be at your work. And we have the Page of Wands. Perhaps one more card. The Page of Pentacles. 2 pages. And I think I'm also taking this card. The World. Wow, yeah. You're moving to a whole new level of experiencing life, a whole new perspective on life. Definitely moving out of what you are in right now and moving into something new. And yeah, again, that goes so well with Hekate's energy, you know. Moving through that liminal space into a new world, a new life. And with the pages, I'm getting this sense of it's okay to start small. It's okay to take baby steps. And it's interesting that with the Page of Pentacles here, we have the bed again. So yeah, maybe make sure that you take good care of yourself, because if you are well rested, your mind will be so much clearer. You will have so much more energy to actually take action and do something that is meaningful. And maybe you feel like there's a lot of you on your plate and you don't have the time to rest, but make it a priority, I think. And again, build something slowly with the Page of Pentacles. And with the Page of Wands that goes so well with this King of Wands that we had before. Yeah. Build your vision, build your alignment to your higher self. Get inspired. Find things that help you to shift that focus and become more positive and inspire you and sort of draw you forward instead of pushing you forward through stress and worry and fear. Find something that draws you. You have nothing to worry about, is what I'm hearing. And of course, I mean, there's always a lot of things to worry about, but don't focus on the worries. Focus instead on your inner strength, your vision, where you want to go. And by that I don't mean ignore the bad things or go into spiritual bypassing where you're like, oh, it's all happening for a reason and it's happening for me, not to me. And those things might be true, but they can also be very misleading because they can sort of make us ignore our thoughts and feelings and the reality of the situation. Or they can even make us feel guilty about struggling. And that's not what I mean. At the same time, I think with this reading, it's definitely a call to, yes, allow those things to, be clear to you with the reflection, allow yourself to feel those things, but then also move on from that. Make different decisions. Don't get stuck on how you feel about it. Accept that this is your truth right now, and then make good choices about it. So you neither want to ignore the difficult things, nor do you want to get stuck in this sort of victim mindset at the worst, or this negativity, or this doubt, or this fear. Of course, fear can be a guide as well, but don't get stuck on those fears. Don't let those fears control your life, right? Okay, this is already getting quite long, so let's get perhaps 3 more cards to see if there are any last messages. And then after that, as always, I will sum up the reading and affirmations for you in case you want to continue working with the energies of the reading. Okay, let's see. What else do you need to know about that? Are there any last messages? 10 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, another page, and 2 of Swords. Yeah, clarity of decision. And it's interesting because it landed on the Judge card, and the crescent moon on those 2 cards is almost the same. So to me, it really feels like it's reinforcing this message of clarity of decision, discernment, making powerful cuts in your life of what you want and what you don't want. Moving forward with power. and strength and clarity. And with the Page of Cups, even though this card looks a bit dark, as all cards in this deck do, I'm getting be more playful. And of course, that is sometimes a important aspect of positivity. You know, having a sense of humor, getting this comic break, as it is in the Shakespearean tragedies and other literary pieces. They always have this, what's called the comic break. So you need a bit of a break. You need to create this space where you can be a bit playful and have fun, and also, again, take care of yourself and your loved ones, and make decisions, you know, when this concern, this responsibility, this pressure becomes too much. You really, really need to create space for that, is what I'm getting with this Page of Cups. And with the 3 pages, again, so much new, fresh energies. So you're still learning. So if things don't shift around so quickly, don't be hard on yourself. You're still learning. You're going on this completely new path. And you will need to develop those skills more. Those skills of making decisions from your inner wisdom and following through on them. And interestingly, with this 10 of Pentacles, I'm getting this sense of heaviness and sadness. Usually the 10 of Pentacles can speak of building a legacy, but in this case, it's what I'm hearing is burying your dead, you know. Again, perhaps grieving, perhaps taking your fears seriously, but also moving on from whatever this heavy energy is. Finding a way to free yourself from it. Perhaps by reflecting on it and journaling about it. And seriously thinking about, how can I create more space for self-care? How can I move toward more clarity, toward more strength, toward more power, and allow guidance to come in from you, for you? Trust the universe, trust your guides, trust your intuition, trust your inner wisdom, trust the wisdom of your heart. And again, this inspiration, find it and let it pull you towards it, and that is how your path will unfold. Okay, yeah, those are the messages that were coming through. So let me try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you now. I trust myself, my path, and the universe. I cultivate inner strength, discernment, and creating an inner vision. I let go of all worry, negativity, and heaviness, and allow myself to move forward with grace and joy. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, and it says Dandelion under the category of spirit, and it says divination, clairvoyance, spirit communication. Though I must say, this other quality of the dandelion also came to mind when I saw this card, and that is, it stands for sort of resistance and rebellion, because it has very, very strong roots, and it's very difficult to get rid of if you want to get rid of it in your garden. And also it grows like in the smallest cracks in the sidewalk. So really this energy of grassroots revolution, of resistance, persistence, defying the odds perhaps. And also, before I started this reading, I had some very heavy emotional energies. I felt them, sort of a sadness mixed with a sense of resisting something or wanting to get away from something. So perhaps those themes will tie into your reading as well, but let's get some more cards and see first, have a look at what the issue or area of your life is that Hekate wants to give you some guidance. I get positivity change. That's very interesting because group 1 also got that card. So I think I want to get a second card as well. And we have leaves, renewal, revival, progress. Okay, I want to get a card from this deck as well. We have the woodcutter. Yeah, I'm sorry, the lighting situation is a bit less than optimal in this reading. Usually I just use natural light for my readings, but today it's so dark and gloomy outside that I actually have to put on the electrical light. And that's also interesting because, of course, Hekate is guiding us through the darkness. She is the torch bearer guiding us through the dark. And yeah, today it's quite dark. I mean, the plants need the rain, so I'm happy, but yeah. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. Let's continue with your reading. So we have the 6 of Cups. Okay. Let's see. Positivity, change, renewal, revival, progress. So I think the emphasis on this card in this reading is more on the change, with the renewal, revival, progress, and with the woodcutter also cutting out the old. So you are making space for renewal and progress. And with the 6 of Cups, perhaps letting go of the past, healing your inner child. Yeah. Did I mention I felt the sadness before I started with the reading? So yeah, I think there's some emotional healing that you have to do, and perhaps that is what Hekate wants to help you with. I mean, she helped me a lot personally with working on my trauma, doing shadow work, doing emotional healing. So I think if you need that, ask her to help you. She's very good at that, let's say. Or ask your guides or your higher self or whatever you believe in or are used to work with, ask those energies or entities to help you with your inner healing, with healing your inner child, with healing the wounds from the past. And or perhaps you have to make difficult choices where it feels like if you want to move on, if you want to move forward, you will have to let go of something that is precious to you. So perhaps that is sort of the crossroads that you are stuck at. That's perhaps the liminal space that you are stuck at, that you can't move into the new because you can't let go of the old yet. Perhaps that is something that you need help with. But let's have a look next at what Hecate's advice is. What is Hecate's advice for you? Not sure. Okay, this one. And that one. Okay, we are getting a lot of cards. Let's see. Spiral, tame for rest and repose. And also with the spiral, slowly but surely moving up, moving towards something better. And the snake also, of course, can be a symbol of transformation. Shedding your skin, letting go of the past. And then we have found, trust what lies ahead. Again, group 1 got a different card, but they also got the message of trusting the unknown, trusting the path, trusting themselves. And I think for you, that's also a very strong message of don't focus on what lies behind you, focus on what lies in front of you. But I want to get more cards for that as well. We are getting so many cards. Okay, the helper and the misunderstood. Okay, perhaps you were trying to help in a way that was misunderstood. Perhaps you feel very misunderstood. Okay, let's perhaps get one more tarot card. 2, so many cards. The Ace of Cups and the 8 of Cups. Yeah, moving away from something. Okay, I will put them here for now and put them to the side later. Okay, let's see. Yeah, a lot is shifting and changing. That's why we got so many cards. And that's also why we are getting so many themes, so many different themes. But yeah, definitely move on. Move on as slowly as you need. You know, slowly spiraling up. Time for rest and repose. Take breaks when you need to, but don't stop moving forward. Don't stop moving forward and don't look back, right? With the 8 of Cups. Even this figure here, they're not looking back. They are just moving on. There's still some cups here, but they are not even looking at them. Because new cups, new opportunities will come in. So I'm not sure what that is. Could be that you are leaving some sort of relationship that was important for you, or perhaps a workplace, or perhaps a place where you lived, and perhaps you got this opportunity to move away, to move to a different city or country, or to leave your relationship, or maybe you got a new opportunity or job offer, and maybe you're hesitant because the place that you're in right now, I think it feels very perhaps not comfortable, but it feels very familiar, and perhaps you're a bit hesitant to step into unfamiliar territory. I find this card very interesting with those creatures and plants growing out of her dress, or perhaps those are this person's dreams and visions. Perhaps you're scared that the dreams and visions you have won't be received well with the misunderstood. And with the helper, I feel perhaps you feel like you're being asked to be the support character and you would rather be the main character. But I think that's not what you're being asked to be, the helper. And I know that, for example, in this society, cleaning or having a job as a cleaning person isn't valued very highly, but that is a very important job, right? So that is also perhaps misunderstood, misinterpreted. Yeah, and again, the sense that you feel that you're not being valued enough. And of course, don't do things that feel like they go against your integrity or your sense of dignity or your sense of self-worth and self-respect. But also don't let other people define that. Find things that are meaningful to you, no matter how other people view them. Because this is forward movement. Maybe it feels a bit like backwards movement for you, but it is forward movement. And with a spiral, of course, it can look like we are just going in circles, or we are, moving down when we want to move up, but it's this spiral motion, right? We are going round, but with each round we are going a level higher. So understand that is your path. The circular motion, the spiral motion. And trust that is what is happening. That you're actually moving up, even if some of the steps might feel like moving backwards. And perhaps that's overall what starting over feels to you, like you feel like, I've built up so much, so why would I give it up? Because then I will have to start from square one. But I think, and always, of course, use your own judgment and just take what resonates, but I feel this reading is telling you will have to start over from square one. You will have to leave behind the position or the life that you have built for yourself. But let's try to get some more insight on how you can actually move through this difficult time. How can you actually move through this difficult time? Divine guidance, whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. Yeah, trust what lies ahead, trust the process, trust that this is guided. Trust that perhaps you can connect with your spirit, with your divine guidance directly with this divination, clairvoyance, spirit combination guides, or you can develop those abilities to tap more into your divine guidance. Okay, let's get some more cards to see how you can move through that difficulty. And we have the King of Pentacles. Slowly but surely again. And we have Strength. Yeah, strength, persistence, like the Dandelion, what I mentioned in the beginning. Persistence, perhaps also resistance from those voices from the outside that are trying to tell you that maybe you're on the wrong path. Develop inner strength and just, again, I think I said it before, but keep going. You can slow down, but keep going. Take steps forward with the King of Pentacles. I was talking about the Knight of Pentacles. I thought this was a Knight of Pentacles, even though I said King of Pentacles. Because I was going to say that the Knight of Pentacles is slow but continuous progress. But this is actually the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so stepping into your sovereignty, stepping into your into your power and doing what is meaningful for you, creating what is meaningful for you. And perhaps it's about building this inner strength to not be influenced by others, building that inner strength to dare to sort of leave it all behind to start anew. I think you're quite powerful, but I also think you're not very aware of it. Like with this card, I feel that you think of yourself as this person when actually you're this powerful creature. Yeah. You need to trust your guidance is what I'm getting again. And of course, again, use common sense, make your own decisions, but also, trust that this is guided. This new endeavor, this new journey, it is guided. And you can always ask Hekate to guide you through that phase of transition. Okay, let's see how this will unfold for you. How will this unfold for you? Friendship. Bring to me friendship, true, sharing, laughter, understanding too. That's beautiful. Because, of course, with those cards over here, we said that you are misunderstood, and now you're moving from this energy of the misunderstood to the energy of understanding, being seen, people appreciating you. So I think you will be able to connect and align with new things and new energies and new people and connect with them. That will be such a good match for you. So if you feel anxious about leaving this behind, something that is a much better match for you lies ahead. Something that will make you much more happy. Happier? I'm not sure. Please let me know. I'm still practicing my English. Okay, but let's get some more cards to see how this will unfold for you. And I love this card because I feel like all those heavy energies, they are transformed and lifted, and even this beautiful green color, like something is growing. And of course the color green is very soothing to us humans, right? Seeing the natural world. Maybe spend more time in nature too. Maybe that could be inspiring and healing and soothing for you. Okay. The moon and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, very beautiful. With the Eight of Pentacles, the first thing I heard was you will achieve mastery. So whatever this project is, wherever you have to take this path, it's because it will lead you to something where you can really shine, like you can really become good at it. Could be your work, could be that you're meeting the people who are sort of the perfect friends or chosen family for you. Something will feel like so right. It will feel like it is the best you have ever done or achieved, or the best you ever felt about yourself. I think this achieving mastery perhaps speaks also about really accepting and appreciating and loving yourself and allowing yourself to shine and feeling a great sense of self-worth and appreciation for yourself. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is very beautiful. Your sense of agency and dignity and power will be restored. Very, very powerfully so. I love that. I love how with those cards, now the energy of the reading completely shifted to something so inspired, so powerful, but at the same time very lighthearted, very laughter, joy, sharing, growing naturally without any effort. It feels almost like things unfolding naturally. And with the moon, following your intuition, allowing yourself to get into the flow. Perhaps not pushing so hard, perhaps not working so hard. Perhaps because you're feeling those energies that we spoke about before right now. It feels like for every centimeter of progress, you have to work hard, you have to push hard. You're always scared that you will make no progress, but actually sort of fall behind. And now you're in a space where things just seem to flow and grow and unfold naturally. And I feel that I'm repeating myself, but this shift is so clear and so distinct and so profound, I feel, this shift in energy. But to get there, yes, you will have to do some inner work, do some inner healing, let go of things perhaps that you don't want to let go of, and also shift your perceptions, shift your reality, develop this inner strength, develop this sense of power within yourself, and at the same time allow divine guidance. Okay, let's get 3 more cards to see if there are any last messages, and then of course after that I will try to sum up the reading in affirmations for you, so you can continue working with energies of the reading in case you want to do that. But let's get some last messages. 3 of Pentacles. Very similar energy to the 8 of Pentacles combined with the Friendship card. 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords. You are moving away from self-doubt, self-sabotage, and moving into creating, connecting, growing. Very beautiful. And the 3 of Pentacles can also stand for teamwork. So I think there are other people coming in to support you on your journey. I think you will have to do those first steps of your journey on yourself, because it has to do a lot with transformation and inner healing. But once you have stepped into your power and sort of unlocked your strength, I think that's perhaps why it will feel like it's suddenly becoming much more easy, because I think there's support coming in. Support either from other people or again from your guides. And with this image on the 5 of Swords, you are rising above it. You are rising above what was holding you back. You are rising above those energies that are distracting and sabotaging and sort of keeping you stuck. Claim your power, claim it, is what I'm hearing again. You already have the tools, you just need to pick them up. And you already have those wings, you just need to take flight, is what I'm hearing. Okay, wonderful. I love how this developed. So let me try to sum up the reading in an affirmation for you. I now claim my power, my strength, my sovereignty. I move forward with determination and a clear vision. I allow guidance from my spirit guides, my higher self, and Hekate. I trust that the future is bright and beautiful and will lead me to mastery of self and my craft. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Also very powerful affirmations, I thought. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, the Amulet, with luck, confidence and grounding, and also the element of earth. And I must say, I was most looking forward to this group in this reading, because somehow I felt a great sense of joy and strength, and that would also, of course, go well with the keywords of luck and confidence. But let's get some more cards to see what this message from Hekate is actually about. Let's have a look first at what issue or area of your life Hekate wants to give you guidance on. It's actually two cards that are sticking out, and we have spring, rebuilding, awakening, rebirth, and watering can, asking for help, sharing burdens. Yeah, very beautiful, both of those cards. Something is growing and expanding and moving forward, and with the watering can, help is coming in, I feel. But let's get some more cards to see what issue or area of your life you will get guidance on today. The cave. Yeah, I'm getting some ideas. I just want to get a tarot card to go with that. So what issue or area of your life is this about? The Hermit. Yeah, that goes so well with what I got with the cave. Yeah, you're coming out of hermit mode, I feel. Or maybe you felt that with both the hermit and the cave that you needed to retreat a bit and protect yourself, or take a break, or things were overwhelming, so you had to sort of keep this wall around you and keep others out, retreat into isolation, perhaps. And perhaps you feel a bit stuck there, or you don't know how to move out of those energies. Or perhaps you have gotten so used to having this wall around you that you don't know how to drop those walls, drop those boundaries, and be more open to people coming into your life, opportunities coming into your life, feeling more alive again with the spring card. And I think that is massively shifting now. Asking help, sharing burdens, rebuilding, awakening, rebirth. Yeah, you're moving out of isolation. You're moving out of retreat, perhaps even moving out of survival mode into thriving again, into growing and expanding again. Very beautiful already, but let's get some more cards to see what Hecate's advice for you is. What is Hecate's advice for you? Nascent, your potential is ripe, yes. Time to move forward. And of course, I think all of the groups, they got this really strong theme, and of course that's so fitting with Hekate, that you're moving out of one sort of stage of life or one lifestyle, and you're moving into a new era, so to speak. A completely new energy, so to speak. You're moving up that ladder. You're moving towards success and progress. And it doesn't have to be like financial progress or progress at work, but it could be. But it could also be that your life in general is becoming more abundant and fulfilling. The Lover. Very beautiful. Yeah, you are falling in love with life again, is what I'm hearing. Perhaps also a new person, a new friend, or a new lover is coming in, because we got this help coming in as well. And of course, it could show up as a lover or friend, but I think this is more about being in love with yourself, with your own life. Strength, perhaps one more. The Sun, very positive cards, even though, of course, this is a horror tarot, so both the Strength and the Sun card look a bit scary. But I'm going with the more traditional meanings of those cards. Yeah, the Sun, happiness, you're about to shine, strength. Yeah, you're feeling rejuvenated, I feel. Rejuvenated and confident. It almost feels like you don't even need that much advice or guidance, perhaps, because it feels like this is already in progress. Your potential is already ripe. You just have to step up and sort of grab it, right? And that help is coming in. That help that will support you. But yeah, perhaps you feel a bit stuck here, could be. So let's have a look next at how you are actually moving through those difficulties. And perhaps we will get more information there as well about what those difficulties actually are. Good cheer, with kind heart and humor free, may good cheer rule, so mote it be. And best possible decision, Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me what must be known. Help me see what must be known. Sorry. Good cheer. Let's put it like so. Okay, I want to get some more tarot cards to go with that as well. Okay, those two flipped around, so I'm taking them. And we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. Interesting that the Four of Swords landed underneath the Cave and the Hermit. So yeah, perhaps this period of rest or this period of retreat, perhaps something about it was a bit involuntary. Perhaps you felt a bit trapped by something. So perhaps right now you still are, or you were in a difficult financial situation, or in a difficult health situation, or in a difficult relationship perhaps, and you felt like you had to get away from it all and sort of hide almost. But also something about it, I think, made you feel stuck. And now with the broom here, you have to clear out those energies that made you feel stuck. And you have to make decisions. And maybe that is what you're hesitating about, or what feels difficult to you, that perhaps even you can see how it would unfold, but something is still holding you back from making this decision. Or maybe you've gotten used to this situation and now you're scared that if you're making any changes to it, it will get worse, not better. But it won't get worse. It will feel more free and more fun and more joyous. I actually want to get some more cards to understand this better. I didn't plan to do that, but let's ask what is holding you back, or what is actually that difficulty in this situation, because everything seems so positive. So let's see what is holding you back. Judgment. 5 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, I think what is holding you back is you're scared that if you make changes, it will get worse. Because perhaps with the 8 of Pentacles, you've become very good at this being independent, living on your own, living perhaps even in isolation, as I mentioned before. Sort of perhaps having reduced your living to a survival mode, or to a not comfortable but stable place. And because it feels stable, perhaps now forward movement feels very risky. Or perhaps moving forward would make it necessary to face some difficult aspects of yourself, or some unhealed emotional wounds that you haven't worked through yet, that you haven't grieved enough yet, that you haven't processed enough yet. Or perhaps with the Judgment card here, there's a sense that you are undeserving of all those good things, of all that abundance and happiness and beauty and perhaps attention and love from others. Yeah, and with those cards, there's a sense of sadness coming in, a sadness of vulnerability, of fragility. So perhaps you're not ready to let go of your crutches yet, because you feel like you don't have enough strength. Perhaps you feel like you're too vulnerable, and if you sort of connect again to the outside world, or try to achieve something in the outside world, it will be dangerous and difficult for you. And so perhaps you made the decision to settle for something that in your heart of heart you feel that it's not giving you joy, it's not giving you fulfillment, but somehow you have decided that it is good enough, perhaps. And if that is the case, this reading really is an encouragement to move out of that, and perhaps you need to ask for help. Perhaps that's also difficult for you. Perhaps you like being independent and self-sufficient. And perhaps you feel that accepting help from others comes at a too high price. But you can find people who love you, people who will support you, and who don't expect you to give them anything in return. And perhaps that is a new experience for you, and you don't trust it yet, perhaps. But there's so much, I feel, love and support and guidance for you. And so much potential, as this card mentions, for you to shine and to really step into this happiness and abundance and aliveness, sense of aliveness, sense of fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be super successful, like in terms of money or career, could be, but I think it points even more at a deeper level of fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, having a life that feels aligned with your true self, having a life that feels abundant and emotionally fulfilling, and that has beautiful people in it, beautiful connections in it. Okay? Let's have a look next how this will unfold for you. How will this unfold for you? Yeah, okay, I judged that one, so I'm taking it. Passion. Rise, passion, rise up high, inflame my purpose, reach the sky. And then we have romance. Wow, romance is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. So you got passion and romance and the lover cards. So yeah, perhaps be open for passion and love and romance to come into your life, if that is something that would give you fulfillment. It's interesting though, because this card also says inflame my purpose. So I think that again speaks of what I mentioned before, having a life that is more in alignment with your true self. And that's where this love, being in love with your own life comes from. That you feel that you're stepping into your purpose, you're stepping into the life that you were meant to have. You're not settling anymore for what feels okay. You don't need to settle for UK. You can have amazing, wonderful, magical. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you can build a completely new life. There's a chance to build something completely new for you. And the Two of Cups. Wow, another card that speaks about deep connection, romance, perhaps even connecting to the things and people that resonate with us. Yeah, so maybe opening up to love and really allowing yourself to interconnect with others. And I'm not talking about codependency, but I'm talking about allowing yourself a level of exchange and dependency and reciprocity that maybe you haven't allowed yourself in a very long time, and building something together, really like investing in the other person, allowing them to invest in you, invest in that relationship. Luck, confidence, grounding. Luck is on your side, definitely. Like passion and romance and love, if you want those things, they're definitely in the stars for you. For sure. But yeah, it also needs this grounding, this practical approach, those decisions. It won't just fall into your lap. You will have to build up the inner strength and the trust and perhaps also the self-worth to allow yourself to experience those things. And I think it has to start with a decision. It has to start that no matter how difficult it seems and no matter how anxious it maybe makes you, this isn't good enough for you anymore. You want that. You want this love, this abundance, this fulfillment. And you have to make this effort to climb that ladder, but then you will be able to harvest the fruits of your labor. And again, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, you may have to clear out some old energies. You may have to face some difficult realities, confront yourself with your unhealed emotions, or perhaps also confront yourself with those decisions that you have made that in the end, if you look at them very closely, if you have made this decision to settle for something less than fulfilling, then in the end you will have to come to terms with having made decisions that actually hurt you, that actually went against you, that actually kept you from having a fulfilling life. And you needed to make those decisions perhaps because you needed to protect yourself. But when we are in survival mode, coming out of survival mode can be very difficult because it can feel like you've wasted so much time, you have abandoned yourself, even though if you had, or you probably and definitely had valid reasons to do so, it could still feel like you betrayed yourself, or you abandoned yourself, or you forced yourself to be okay with something that in your heart of hearts you feel doesn't make you happy. Things like that. But now you're being invited to allow all of those energies and this love, this passion, romance, abundance, happiness. Claim them. Allow yourself to invite them in. And perhaps that is something that feels a bit egoistic to you, especially with everything going on in the world. It sometimes can feel that we shouldn't focus on ourselves or our own problems, but you still have a life. Your life is still important, right? So of course you're allowed to make changes and work on that and focus on that and focus on your own happiness. That doesn't mean that you have to ignore those other things. But take yourself seriously. Take your self-worth seriously. Love yourself, Allow yourself to have all the things you want and need. Allow yourself to follow your passion, whatever it might be. Could be a person, could also, be a project, but with all those cards, I'm feeling that it's probably a lover or a close friend or any sort of like really close, and with the Ace of Pentacles, also long-term relationship that you are building up. Okay. So let's see if there are any last messages, anything else that you need to know. And then, of course, I will try to sum up this reading in affirmations for you in case you want to continue working with the energies of this reading. But let's get some more cards. First, the Five of Swords. Yeah, the last group also got this card. Rise above it. Rise up and above it. The Ten of Swords, yes. You need to leave because those energies, even though perhaps they were helpful, or those decisions, even though they were helpful, now they are just making you feel sort of dead and stuck. And then we have the Ace of Swords. Yes, make a decision. It all starts with a decision. That is what I felt very strongly with those other cards here as well. Look at this image. It looks so powerful, right? Someone is so determined, so decided, and so precise also. I don't like the expression going for the kill, but that's sort of the sentiment, having a clear vision and then going for it, putting all your energy, your focus, your effort on it, and cutting away what you don't need anymore. And it's interesting that those three cards, they're all sword cards, so yeah, really shifting and changing the concepts you have about yourself and about your life, and really creating sort of a new vision of where you want to go. Yeah, gaining clarity about your situation and what got you there and how you can move on from it. And this is so guided, this is so supported, the time is so right now. right? Ask your guide, ask Hekate to guide you through this transitional period or whatever, you work with or believe in. The battle is over. You can leave now. The survival mode is unnecessary. You can move on from it now. And yes, it will mean that you have to change yourself and develop new skills and let people in, find people that you trust. But that, I feel, is also something that you want in your heart of hearts. Okay, so let me try to sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I now step out of survival mode and step into abundance and growth. I allow myself to follow my passion and to reach for the things I need and want. I let my guard down and open my heart and mind to friendship and love. Okay, those were the affirmations that wanted to come through. Of course, you could come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let us know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and see you next time.